They can be scary, but absolutely fascinating. Coming up this weekend, you have the rare chance to see exotic reptiles and amphibians because of this really cool show that is coming to Tucson. Mark and Kathy Wolfson with the Tucson Reptile and Amphibian Show and Sale are joining us to tell about all of the cool things that we can see, including the ones that you're holding today. So real quickly for people who are watching at home, you've got a ball python, you have a lizard, and then you also have a tortoise, right?
Yes, this is a Gargoyle Gecko from New Caledonia, one of the coolest of the geckos. This is a leopard tortoise, actually the 4th largest species of tortoise in the world.
Oh my gosh, because he's a baby now.
4 months old.
So cool to see up close. I had a chance to really get up close and personal with the lizard because he about jumped on my shoulder, which is the reason I'm not holding the snake, because I really do like ball pythons. And I think it's important to for people at home to realize that every species has a place in the ecosystem, right? Would you say that's one of the reasons you like to do this show, is to educate people?
Absolutely. You know, people that like reptiles are made. They're not born that way. And so by having the show where we get close to 10,000 people through it in the weekend, we educate the public that reptiles are not dangerous.
Right, so it's like a built-in fear.
Yes.
Because ball pythons are actually really nice pets.
Well, they're docile.
Yes.
They're not very active.
And it's so funny because I feel like that's the most active I've ever seen one of those snakes. But this guy is really active, and you can hold some of these when you come out to the show, right?
Absolutely. There'll be 2 petting zoos, and also for kids there'll be balloon animals and face painting.
That's fun.
But for the most part, 2/3 of the show is vendors from all over the country. We've even had a vendor from Germany one year selling captive bred reptiles and amphibians, supplies, artwork, jewelry, anything with a reptile theme.
It's the whole gamut then.
Yes.
Okay, and you said not only hundreds of reptiles and amphibians, but thousands that you have on display.
Thousands.
It's incredible.
I mean, one dealer might have, you know, a couple hundred snakes sitting on his table.
Oh my gosh, so there he goes. Oh my gosh, okay, so he just jumped.
Ouch.
Oh, and he's biting. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So what's the one thing you would want people to know about?
He's okay. Get back here.
But one thing you would want people to know at home, as I step behind the camera, for people to know.
Well, you know, reptiles make great pets. What other pet can you, like a snake, you can leave town for 2 or 3 weeks, and as long as you fill his water bowl before you go, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll hopefully be back or there when you get back.
They're probably the easiest animal to keep. You feed them once a week or so. Lizards, you know, more every couple of days. Same thing with frogs, but they're beautiful animals, and
we need to respect them because, again, they have a reason to be here. They're part of the environment. So what is the craziest, like most unique snake that you have or animal that you have that you're interested in?
Well, at the show, there'll be, poison dart frogs are really something. They come in every color of the rainbow. And interestingly enough, their skin, which can be quite toxic in the wild, is non-toxic in captivity because the raw materials for making their skin toxins, they derive from what they eat in the wild. And if you feed them fruit flies and little crickets, they are non-toxic. And they're about the prettiest animal on earth. Really?
Okay, and we had some of the pictures of some of the snakes and the other animals that you had up on the screen a second ago, but this is live. This little guy is live. I want to make sure that he doesn't jump off. Okay, so let's talk about the venomous snakes. So do you have pit vipers, stuff like that?
There will be a huge display of exotic venomous snakes from around the world, from tree vipers and all sorts of vipers and mambas and taipans, probably the deadliest snake in the world, on display. But you're not allowed to keep venomous exotic reptiles in Arizona unless you have a zoo license or some sort of special permit, which you won't get.
But you can get this close to some of those snakes that we're seeing here on the screen?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. So what's the one, see that orange one right there on the right-hand side? Do you know what that is?
That is an albino Honduran milk snake.
Okay, and go ahead.
They
cool.
come in every color. They're amazing. I used to breed those.
Oh my gosh, I know you said you had a snake room. You had hundreds of snakes at your house. Kathy, I know you knew that going into the marriage, so that's nice to know. All right, thanks so much for being here, guys, giving us a great education and a personal look at some of the cool things that you'll have there at the show. Don't miss out on the Tucson Reptile and Amphibian Show and Sale. It's coming up this Saturday and Sunday. All the fun is happening at the Tucson Expo Center, and for more information, you can visit TucsonReptileShow.com.